The president just tweeted. He says this: Republicans are going for the big budget approval today. First step forward, massive tax cuts. I think we have the votes, but who knows? I would think he would know. I mean, or I guess he doesn't. Right?
Well, he doesn't know, and in part, he doesn't know for several reasons. Yesterday, or the day before, Willie, we were talking to Rob Reiner about LBJ, who was so connected with the process that if he heard a bill was being slowed down in a subcommittee, he would pick up the phone and he would call a startled subcommittee chairman in the House and say, "Hey, boy, what's going on with my bill? Get it moving." I mean, so he stayed on top of it. Other presidents seem to know what's going on with legislation. This president does not. Rich Lowry has a great column out this morning in Politico where he says the Trump administration has formidable obstacles, but none looms quite as large as the fact that Trump himself has no idea how he wants to govern. And Rich Lowry goes on to say, to paraphrase Groucho Marx, President Trump has a position on Lamar Alexander, Patty Murray's health care deal, and if you don't like it, he has another one. Well, you can apply that to health care, you can apply that to the budget, you can apply that to just about everything. A president who is engaged and who is not on an alternate plane, who's not just looking at Twitter or cable news, is a president that's on the phone saying, Senator Corker, you're going to be with us. Oh, wait a second. He insults Senator Corker all the time. Senator Flake, can we count on your vote? Hold on a second. He's trying to beat. I mean, you can go down the line. This president can't call these people and ask for their votes because he's insulted them all, and their margin of error is so small. How can you predict what any of them are going to do?
This is where you talk about the day trading. He feels he has to answer a criticism with an insult, and he doesn't think about the long-term impacts of going after Bob Corker or John McCain or Jeff Flake or any of the people that Steve Bannon has threatened to challenge in primaries, all of that. Philip, I think what I read in that tweet is not only is he not aware of the vote count, or not only is he not necessarily whipping votes, but he felt burned by the Obamacare vote, the repeal and replace of Obamacare, where he assumed, having won the White House, the House, and the Senate, that that was going to be a quick and easy order of business. So I think what he's saying there is, I think we should have it, but these Republicans have not shown the ability to get anything done.
Yeah, and that tweet, I read it as undermining Mitch McConnell's ability to count votes. And this is 2 days after they came out to the Rose Garden to declare themselves to be best friends forever. And, you know, here in this tweet, he's saying, I don't know if we can trust them to count all the votes.
Is there anyone in Washington, D.C. who truly believes that Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump are now really good, fast friends?
No.
Wait a minute. Isn't he undermining his own ability to lead? I mean, he's saying he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know if he has the votes. He doesn't know.
And it's all part of the reality show of governing. I mean, stay tuned. We'll see if they have the votes next episode later this afternoon. But Mitch McConnell wouldn't bring a bill like this to the floor if he didn't have the votes. I mean, one thing he knows how to do is count votes.
And Guerin, jump in.
Well, I think this president's relationship with the Republican-led Congress is one of the most interesting aspects of the presidency now that, you know, he's been, you can't really call it brand new anymore. And, you know, there are Republican leaders in Congress who are, from the get-go, it was assumed, would cooperate with the White House, would try to make sure that even where they disagree with the president or disagree with his temperament and his style, you know, this is a Republican president, a Republican Congress, let's work together to get done things that we can all agree on, like tax cuts. It's almost the end of the year, and they still haven't really actually jumped in with both feet to tax cuts. And I think you see the frustration playing out on all sides. You certainly saw it in the body language with Mitch McConnell in the Rose Garden the other day. I mean, he sort of looked like he was being taken hostage, and he kept backing away from the podium and looking at his feet. He wants the outcome that can come with working alongside a Republican president, but he doesn't like feeling like, I'm sure he doesn't like this sort of thing, this sort of tactics today, like where the president is basically saying, hey, it's all on you, Mitch. Can you count the votes? I don't know.
Yeah. Joe?
Well, you know, the insults, Mika, have had an impact on Republicans. Mitch McConnell has one of the lowest approval ratings in America for American politicians. Donald Trump still over 80% with Republicans. Paul Ryan's numbers lower. Donald Trump is the de facto leader of the Republican Party, and also, obviously, as president, he's the actual leader of the Republican Party. And all the nasty tweets, all the insults, all the attacks of senators, all the attacks of congressmen actually are paying off, because none of those senators or congressmen, other than Bob Corker, are fighting back. And when they do fight back just a little bit, then they back off. If you're being bullied, and I speak from experience, by the way, when you're being bullied, you lean in and you keep hitting and you keep pounding, and you make it more difficult for the bully than the bully is making it for you. You rip the bully to shreds. You humiliate them. You stay on them. You smother them. You don't just poke them and then back away. That's something that not a single Republican on Capitol Hill has the political horse sense to figure out. There's only one way to beat a bully. And you know how you beat a bully? You beat a bully.
Well, bullies think they can
you
run you
stay
over.
after them and you hammer them. Right. You
And
don't let them do that.
I just don't understand how so many Republicans are allowing themselves and their political careers to be run over by a president who isn't even a proven Republican at this point and has, well, a track record that is flawed, to say the least.
You know, it's confounding to me why these Republicans have sold out conservatism. It's confounding to me why they've sold out the ideas of Ronald Reagan. It's confounding to me why they have sold out the first principles of Abraham Lincoln, and why the Republican Party really was even established, for a man who's been a lifelong Democrat, who gave money to Chuck Schumer, who was best friends with Hillary Clinton, who gave more money to the DNC than Bob Mueller's entire staff ever even thought about doing it. It's just confounding. But this is where we find ourselves. If they're going to continue to play scared, they're all going to be beaten. They need to, but they do need to pass legislation for their own political survival, with or without Donald Trump, because their numbers keep dropping, and the Republican majority is hanging by a thread right now. Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.